This is a great painting.
That is a great painting, huh?
Yeah. This is a great room. Super. Beautiful the way you placed it. And there are frames. Yeah, no, I know them.
You know them very well, huh?
I know them. Of course.
Well, you
I
sold all of them, yeah. Why do you think Basquiat was and remains so impactful and relevant and popular?
Because it was a different type of art that happened in 1980. Particularly at that time, I went to PS1 and the big show had organized by Diego Cortés, and he was full of artists. And two of them I liked, Roberto Juarez and Jean-Michel Basquiat. The one of Jean-Michel, because it was written with a lot of letters. What was interesting was that it had to do with a new alphabet. I thought that I would like to find him, and I went to the house where he had the drawings, and there was a lot of drawings. There were no paintings. So I wanted to leave, and I said, well, listen, let's have a coffee. So we went to have a coffee, and we started to talk about my gallery. I want to have a show of yours. I said, you don't have any paintings. So he said, I'll show you some paintings. And Jean-Michel brought an enormous amount of paintings that he did in my basement, and it was fabulous. And they were very different than the one that I'd seen in PS1.
Yeah.
But I loved them.
Was Jean-Michel, was he a sports fan? Why did he, because he painted boxers, he painted baseball players.
Because he was an important first Afro-American artist. Wasn't Jackie Robinson the first? That's why I think that's why he did the crown, like the king of that.
So you have this public address show which sells, and you sell all of Jean-Michel's paintings.
And I already had sold everything because I knew all the collectors. This was Francesco Pellizzi, who was a friend of mine.
Yeah.
But he didn't buy them at the beginning. He made it afterwards. And he even wrote for him in some catalogs. And he liked the paintings very much.
He bought these from you. He bought this one in 1983. He bought this one in 1983, and I think he bought this in 1984. Can you take us through what it was like when you entered the studio, what it looked like, what it sounded like, the energy of it?
Sometimes he would come to my office after 10 with a coffee and a croissant, and he would say, I'm sorry, I'm late. I said, you can come anytime.
And what was it like? How did he work?
Okay, one thing when he was there, for hours he was making the music. Over and over. I was going crazy, and I would bang up, stop, change the music. And he went on and on and on with the classical art, particularly Rabel. The paintings had to do with the public address, it did. Jean-Michel Basquiat, he was a philologist. He was particularly knowledgeable about a lot of things, even when he was young. That one is interesting because that has to do with colonization. And it obviously has to do with his position of being black. About the slaves, he knew about it a lot because he came from Haiti. What I particularly like of this painting is that this became beyond being a painting.
On the reverse of it is inscribed to Glenn O'Brien.
Really? Because he had worked with him at the beginning.
Yeah.
Was one of the first ones that brought him to the TV.
Yeah.
And he had cut all his hair.
He was just doing his own thing.
Whatever he did was his ideas.
Yeah.
The color, like in this one, was his own sense of the color. That came from him, from him. From where? From nobody else, him.